anywhere and everywhere, bringing the world into your home. Journey to Adventure, television's longest-running travel show, with your host and guide, Gunther Less.
Think of beautiful and spacious landscapes where you can find peace, of castles steeped in history, of friendly people proud of their great culture, of rounded hills, unspoiled beaches, running waters, clean air, ancient stones and refreshed spirits. A land which offers you a true holiday in which you can relax and enjoy the space all around you. If you like an easy pace and a sense of remoteness, then join me in getting to know Wales.
Mountains, rivers, and lakes. And indeed, the mountains rise up as soon as the English border is left behind. From the mighty Snowdonia Range in the north to the Black Mountains and Brecon Beacons in the south, there seem always to be mountains touching the sky. But Wales is also a place of soft hills, forests, and valleys, and a most extraordinary and rugged coastline. This is an ancient land with an ancient tongue. Memories of our past go back 7,000 years or more. Strange sculptural shapes, half sunk into the earth, mark the burial place of Stone Age man. Amazingly, sometimes the past survives, and here we see it living on into the present. Look at these boats, coracles, made of willow twigs and tarred cloth. They are virtually unchanged since the Iron Age. They still glide quietly across the clear streams of West Wales. The fishermen net the good Welsh salmon with as much expertise as did our ancestors in Celtic Britain. Wales is the land of castles. They dominate the surrounding countryside and bear witness to generations of war and turmoil. The Norman invaders were the first great castle builders. In the 12th and 13th centuries, they constructed seemingly impregnable fortresses, like Kidwelly Castle, which with its massive walls and great rounded stone towers frowned down on a beleaguered land. Even mightier than Conwy is the imposing majesty of Carnarvon Castle. 37 years in its construction, it stood as the symbol of Edward's power. Almost 700 years later, the investiture of Prince Charles as Prince of Wales took place in this courtyard setting.
I, Charles, Prince of Wales, do become your liege man of life and limb, and of earthly worship, and faith and truth I will bear unto thee, to live and die against all manner of folk.
Carnarvon's towers have a commanding view of the approaches to the castle and the Menai Straits. The waters of the straits separate the Isle of Anglesey from the mainland and are spanned by another of Telford's elegant bridges. centuries, Wales remained a quietly rural place. Dramatic changes came to the land with the Industrial Revolution in the 18th and 19th centuries. Slate was urgently needed throughout the industrial world to roof the millions of workers' houses being hastily constructed. In North Wales, the quarrying industry boomed, and it suddenly seemed as though every mountain in Snowdonia was made of slate. The grey-blue slate was split into slabs, then loaded into railway trucks. From the slate quarries, this type of engine would trundle its heavy loads to the sea. These splendid little trains still chug their way along 10 different narrow-gauge lines. Today, the train loads are not slate anymore, but thousands of visitors. Cardiff, the capital of Wales, was built on the wealth of the early industries, and its civic centre was designed in the grand style of architecture. This is a cultural as well as an administrative capital, and a focal point for people from all over Wales. Here is a bustling modern city, but one which is still very conscious of its past. The castle sits plumb in the center of this green city. The Normans left this fine stone circular keep on a high mound. The Victorians rebuilt and reconstructed the living apartments, and the present-day castle walls are built on stonework foundations of the Roman fort. Stone by stone, old farms, working buildings, and cottages have been transported from all over Wales and rebuilt here at St. Fagans. It's a living monument to our ancestors and their way of life. For instance, look inside this farmhouse from the Gar Peninsula. Living seemed comfortable enough in the firelit kitchen. The typical Welsh dresser displays the best Sunday china. This early farmhouse is without any form of chimney. The smoke escaped through the windows. The near end of the house was the cattle shed. This little moorland cottage was built with huge, heavy glacial boulders, not elegant, but decidedly sturdy. There is also in the museum an early Welsh woolen factory from Llanwrtyd Wells. Farming is still an important part of the Welsh economy. In Wales, there are said to be 3 sheep to every 1 person. Shepherds are justly proud of their sharp-witted dogs and bring them regularly to the sheepdog trials. It's a place to come and see a tense game of skill and control. At the moment of truth, it's a battle of wills between sheep and sheepdog. way to wander through the countryside and discover the freedom of the hills. It's our first sport and second religion, rugby football. It's tough and exciting, and its legendary heroes are immortalized. Follow the long coastline from the south, westwards, and to the north, 750 miles of seascape. The Pembrokeshire National Park alone has almost 200 miles of footpath, which loops around the coves and looks down on bays and rocky inlets. These are Poet Shores, the Gower Peninsula, an area of outstanding natural beauty, where the sky is reflected in the smooth sand, and the cockle gatherers still go out in the pale gold light of the early morning. The Georgian boathouse at Larne, where the poet Dylan Thomas lived, is perched high over the estuary of the River Tarr as it flows out to Carmarthen Bay. Throughout Dylan's writings, the image of the sea is a constantly recurring theme. One of the number of small, compact fishing forts on the Pembrokeshire coast, not far from Larne, is Tenby. It's unspoilt and full of character, and there's great enjoyment in wandering around its ancient streets. Across blue Llyn Padam, Snowdon itself rises, proudly the highest mountain in all England and Wales. Here is the heart of Wales, with more than enough beauty to share it out generously amongst her friends. But the whole of Wales is my heritage. I carry it with me wherever I go. It is the sum of all experiences, both in the days past and here, in the present time.
Welsh history has left a strong imprint in its wake. And as we have seen, Wales is definitely the land of castles and abbeys, each one capturing the conflicts of Welsh history. I'm your host, Gunther Less. I hope you've enjoyed our look at Wales, and please join us on our next visit and our next journey to adventure.
The Bahamas, Isles of Perpetual June. Treat yourself to sparkling blue-green waters, pristine stretches of white sandy beaches, and the high-level excitement of a winning streak at the gaming tables of a glamorous casino. Take a sun-splashed journey, visiting celebrities at play, marveling at the wonders of an undersea world, shopping at Nassau's world-famous straw market, and taking in all the sights that make you long for the Bahamas, Isles of Perpetual June. London and Wales. Visit stately Buckingham Palace with its traditional changing of the guard. Cruising along the highway that is the Thames River, we find many of London's landmarks. Stroll through some of the world's most delightful parks and enjoy the myriad of fashionable shops and galleries available in London. Also visit the quiet beauty of the country known as Wales. Its land of castles and abbeys, mountains, soft hills, forests, and valleys. Ireland. In a country so small, the variety of scenery is a wonder. Discover the 40 shades of green while exploring the ancient birthplace of good times. Visit a castle, explore the busy streets of Dublin or the wave-lashed grandeur of Dingle Bay. Experience both the scenery and the Ireland's state of mind. Australia and New Zealand. These lands of diverse scenic wonders and friendly people are probably a lot closer than you imagine. Enjoy the wide open spaces, cosmopolitan cities, diverse cultures, beautiful beaches, lush valleys and mountains, birds and animals found nowhere else on Earth. France, a paradise for lovers, lovers in love, lovers of art, of luxury, of fine cuisine and wines, of haute couture, exciting nightlife, beautiful scenery, and much more. Germany, a fascinating combination of village atmosphere and ultra-modern technology. Tour many of the beautiful German cities via hot air balloon and motorcycle, plus journey on a more traditional excursion along Germany's romantic road, where little has changed since medieval times. China, an exhilarating and enriching experience. The land is full of wonderful natural splendors, misty hills, magnificent gorges, and scenic wonders everywhere. Switzerland. From the Alpine mountains and glaciers that make up the heart and soul of Switzerland, to the sophistication of her cosmopolitan cities, visit the picture book perfection of the quaint towns and villages, and enjoy the sunny, balmy climate of the south. Denmark and Sweden. Travel through Denmark, visiting her beautiful, serene countrysides, charming seaside towns, and the excitement of the Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen. Also enjoy Sweden, the land where the sun sometimes never sets. Revel in the natural wonders of the land, the vibrant cities, fine food, shopping delights, and the charm of the friendly people of Sweden. Also available now in the Passport Travel Guide series are these exciting destinations: the Arctic and Antarctica, Egypt and Morocco, the Himalayas, the Cook and Easter Isles, and Micronesia.